Howdy, 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 my beautiful Cancer. How are you doing today, darling? Let's get into your weekly tarot reading, Cancer, for September and see what's going to happen in your life today. In your first row, we'll talk about your predictions that I'll make for you today for September, Cancer. While the future is never solid, of course, if you continue down the path that you have been going, I can make some solid predictions for you. Your second row, we're going to be talking today about what you need to hear, Cancer. This could be serving as some spiritual guidance for some of you, or just be affirming something you've already been feeling intuitively. And then in your third row today, Cancer, we'll talk about some brutal truths for you. Now, this is my personal favorite row, but this is not for the sensitive. I can acknowledge that, Cancer. So only watch this part if you're ready to have a sense of what you need to be doing next to continue claiming your abundance, right? It's all fine and dandy to receive YouTube readings and feel good about it by the end, but let's have you leave this reading today with a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, Cancer, what you need to do next. So back to the deck energy, we have the Sun card coming in for you, Cancer. All right, the Sun is a card that is revealing things. It's the most positive card in the tarot deck here, Cancer. So I'm really going to just spoiler alert, darling, before we even start looking into these cards here, the Sun card is letting you know that this is going to be a pretty insanely positive reading for you. All right, I would be saying for you, just in September in general, is a time of where truths are going to be heard. Your truth is going to be heard, Cancer. I feel like for you, there's been something that you've been wanting to have be seen, whether it's like some actual truth. Maybe some of you guys are dealing with something in the law that has some truth, or having your name be cleared. But I also want to go deeper with this, Cancer, because I feel like for some of you guys, your truth is like your art. Your truth is like the true version of yourself. So I really feel like for you, this is like a month of where the Sun is putting us, blessing this really, because it does represent the spotlight and abundance. And so I'm really excited about where your reading is going to be going. All right, so let's get into your predictions right now, Cancer, see what's happening. You have the Temperance, the Four of Wands, with the Two of Pentacles coming in here. I get a couple different ways for you to be progressing here, Cancer. I feel like there's going to be two avenues for you that are really going to be developing here. It's something that you've been patient about. Maybe it's like social life, you've been patient with it, but as well as your career. Maybe for some of you, Cancers, you've been playing a long waiting game about your truth being heard here. Definitely September seems to be the month where Spirit is letting you know, to be like, hey, Cancer, all right, we're about to be lighting the candles here. We're about to be showing some more traction here towards your goals, because that Four of Wands is the card of the 1111, representing the portal, but also just like the wish being granted, getting being on your soul's purpose here. Now with this Temperance energy, this lets me know it's just like, be a little bit more patient here, Cancer. And these Two Pentacles that you will be in this case, it's presence in this deck. There will be two different opportunities to really get some forward momentum going here. I also get, for some of you Cancers, financially, like there's going to be a couple different options. Maybe some of you guys haven't been having too much luck when it comes to job searching, or when it comes to increasing your money than what it is. Like, I get the sense of like you've been wanting to like increase your flow, or increasing opportunities for you to grow your finances, or whatever the case is. And I feel like that's coming here. You have the Two of Swords coming in as well with this Temperance. Okay, yeah, so change is definitely coming. I almost called you Scorpio. Change is definitely coming, Cancer. All right, and you need to be ready for it. And so what I mean by this is that if you've been asking the universe, asking your spiritual team, Cancer, and saying just like, Spirit, can you really give me a way to make more money? Spirit's going to be bringing forth the opportunity for you to have more money, but there is this sense of a sacrifice, a choice needing to be made, Cancer, about what you do, right? You can't have two jobs. Like, it's the sense here, you can technically, but it's like, you can't have your cake and then eat it too. There's some type of transition, some type of commitment that you need to make before we get into these two different options for you for making money. King of Swords coming in on this Two of Pentacles. So definitely for you, Cancer, I feel like in September, this is going to be a time of where you need to sell yourself. Be applying to places, or start putting the intent out there, Cancer, for wanting to do things that I feel like you have the education for, you have the intelligence for, but for some reason, I feel like it hasn't been put into action quite yet. All right, Cancer, start making it a priority of asking yourself of like, what value do you have that you could use that to further elevate yourself? For example, Cancer, right? I'll just use tarot. You know, you'll see many tarot readers that will start out doing tarot readings and then they get into like motivational content because naturally as a tarot reader you have a grander perspective of the world as you continue delving in, so they could turn into motivational speakers, but they have to have that initial confidence as that King of Swords of acknowledging that they can do that. Ace of Pentacles coming in here with the Four of Wands. I definitely see for many of you here, Cancer, that what is the word that I want to be looking for here? It's like you're about to be, you have the opportunity for this new path that's going to be coming out here for you, Cancer, to get out of the dark tunnel that you've been in for a while now. Now, I don't want to be presumptuous and say it's just like, oh yeah, you've been going on this dark tunnel, you don't know where you've been going, what have you. But I keep on being shown that dark tunnel, Cancer, symbolizing to me of where it's just like you kind of been fumbling about for a while, not really sure which direction your path is trying to take you. You've been searching for that clarity on like when this dark tunnel ends, right? And I feel like that dark tunnel ends through this choice. But again, there's like something that you have to engage, you have to actively really engage with your Cancer. It's not something that's like, this new path isn't going to just like come out in front of you. There is this choice that you have to make of like which path you want to be going, where do you commit, where do you sacrifice, and that new path is like a shorter tunnel to get to what it is that you want. It's that same sense for you, Cancer, where it's like maybe for the longest time, Four of Wands energy, you've envisioned yourself having a business, owning a business, and that's still the reality for you, but I feel like what you thought that business was going to be is not the reality of what it's actually going to be. Where it's like, you know, as a tarot reader, right? Maybe you thought your business was going to be tarot or in search, whatever it is, but it actually is motivational speaking that you have the main success with, Cancer. I hope that makes sense. All right. So let's get into now, Cancer, what you need to hear today. You have the Lovers, the Death, the Five of Swords coming in. Very humbling message right now, Cancer. I feel like you guys walked away from a situation that wasn't good for you. There was this sense, Cancer, when it comes to this connection, every time you try to make it work with them, it was always like a battle. It was almost like every time you try to have a conversation with them, it starts out first 10 seconds with like positive intent, but then I'm being shown like a social battery. So it's like this person is just draining of your social battery so much. And it's just like after 5 minutes of talking to them, you're just like, I don't even know if I like you, right? And this could be family. This could be an ex-romantic situation. It could be friends. There could be anything here. But there has been something, Cancer, that just has not been good for you. And I feel like you're fully aware of it, right? Like you're looking the devil, and this is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. And I don't know, I never watched the movie, but this guy here in the tarot deck is the devil. So I don't know what relevance, you know, but so it's like you're facing that devil there, Cancer. So you know you're aware about it, but I don't feel like it started out that way. Or maybe you just have you're just being you, Cancer, where you're extremely tenderhearted here. But it is this sense where it's like the intention starts out there, but then like the intention is this. When you start out with it, it's this, but then it develops to being this. It turns into a demon here, right? Still that there's like that one synchronicity of, I think it's Jack, right? Jack the skeleton in both sides, but it's like whoever, genders don't matter, darling, of course. But whoever that is, it turns out to be just nothing delightful. And accepting it for death, right? Accepting it for what it is and be like, you know what? This isn't good for me anymore. I'm done with it. And really that devil could just even be like an addiction where it's like, maybe you have an addiction towards smoking, and it's just like, you know, it's not good for you, but you go in with the intent of being like, oh, I only smoke once in a while or whatever, you know, whatever. You get the point, Cancer. All right. So let's start getting some oracle cards, start fleshing this out a little bit more. You have the dog card. Ooh, ooh. Y'all, the oracle cards are calling you out. Your loyalty and faithfulness is being misplaced by serving too many masters. All right. I always kind of cringe at this card, and just in the sense of the masters, because I'm like, girl, is this really necessary? Like, I understand it's a dog, but come on now, let's not use the master. But I feel like for you, Cancer, what you need to hear today is that of just like, keep walking forward, turn your back to this and disconnect from it. You are good enough. You are deserving of more here. Full moon in Virgo. We've all seen those commercials where it comes with those neglected animals, Cancer, and it's just like the animal doesn't know that what's going on. They think it's their fault that their owner like neglects them or what have you. But it's like that message where it's just like, you are good enough. You don't have to be in this situation that doesn't fulfill you. All right, you're worthy. Even if this is a job, you're good enough to be in a more healthier work environment. Right? You have the full moon in Pisces. Forgive coming in here. Now, this might be a little bit too soon of a message for you, Cancer. I can acknowledge that, right? And my version of forgiveness is a sense of where it's like, you don't have to forgive the act that was done, but just make it a priority of learning how to be able to become indifferent to what that situation is and realizing it's not personal. By realizing it's not personal, you become indifferent towards it, where you're not emotionally attached to it at all. From that point forward, you don't need to, there's nothing to forgive or to forget. At that point in time, it's like, oh yeah, that happened. Now I'm going over here. That happened. This is over here. I'm separate from that, right? So there's not any emotion attached to it, right? So that's what I feel like your intent is, Cancer. I feel like for some of you, you wish you could just like erase all your memories for this person. Like, that's not the word I want. That's not how I want to say it. It's like, I feel like you wish that you could push a button on this person, on this situation, and have it reset as if you never existed in this situation here. Willing to release. Ooh, Cancer, this is turning into like an extremely emotional reading, I feel, for some of you guys here. Girl, as I drop it. Yeah, I feel like this is like the tough truth, what you need to hear today, Cancers, where it's just like, it hurts to let go, but it hurts even more to keep on trying with this, right? I feel like for some of you guys here, this butterfly has some significance. I'm going to hold it up for a little bit longer. And also take note. I mean, at least where I grew up, I grew up in the countryside of New York. These we used to, so I don't know if it was like this for everywhere, but when I was a kid, my brothers and I, we would blow on those to make wishes. I think it's like a normal thing. Maybe it's not, I don't know. But notice that similarity with like the wishes, you know, from what we talked about beforehand from your other cards. All right, Cancer. So let's now begin your next portion about what you need to hear today, Cancer. I mean, not what you need to hear today. Let's talk about your brutal truths, rather, darling. All right, this is not for the sensitive. This is for those that want some direction. 2 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, with the Fool card coming in here. All right, Cancer, what you need to hear today, the brutal truth. All right, this is a time of where I feel like you need to, how do I want to put this, Cancer? You need to make it a priority of not being afraid of like wiping the slate clean. I feel like for you, there's this fear of like letting go and focusing on a future of where something's not relevant to you anymore, right? I feel like you need to put something as like a, not even put a bookmark on it, but it's like, having a chapter, you know, when you read like a chapter of a book or what have you, you're just like, okay, we're gonna just pretend that didn't happen, right? And while it's not the best case or the most idealistic case, but let's, you know, for growth and development, Cancer, I'm just going to be very blunt, right? Sometimes not every action you do needs to be for growth and development, right? Let's be very human. Let's stop, like, let's not pretend like we're super spiritual guru people who are perfect, right? I feel like for you, you need to just like have whatever happened in your life that has you feeling in this 5 of Pentacles, where you feel outcasted, lesser than, not feeling cute, whether that was with a specific person, whether that was with a work situation. I don't care what your story is. I do, but I don't, Cancer, like, because it all is the same in the sense that you just pretend right now that that portion of your life didn't happen. Whatever is causing you to play meek, play small, you can address it later if you need to, or maybe you need to just address it and forgive it. It doesn't happen overnight, of course, right? But if you are if you are frustrated with why you're not progressing in life as much as you know that you could, Cancer, That's why, because there's some chapter of your life that you need to just like make irrelevant as if it didn't ever exist, Cancer. All right. That's what I see for you, truly. So hopefully this tarot reading was helpful, Cancer. Give this video a like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And comment down below how this was helpful. Until next time, Cancer, check out your monthly pick a card tarot reading. And I'll see you later. Bye, darling.